ago, after the election of Barack Obama, when a lot of the peace movement had disintegrated because they didn't want to challenge this Uncle Tom neo-colonial leader they called Barack Obama. So one of the things we wanted to do was reignite the peace movement and also redefine what we consider war and things like that. Because what happens in Ferguson is a war on the African community. What happens in D.C. is a war on the African community. And we already talked about it. Every 28 hours, an African in this country is shot and killed by the police. And actually, the FBI just came out with a report and said twice a week, an African is killed by a white police officer in this country. So what happens, you know, when Africans in Ferguson, happens to Africans everywhere.
That's right.
And we get our phone numbers. Because see, we got to stay in contact, and we got to stay in touch, and we got to get this information out to you within the next 48 hours on how we going to get to this police hearing. What's the date?
So we out here to demand justice for Mike Brown. We know what happens to Mike Brown happens to African people wherever we are around this country and around the world. Every 28 hours, an African is killed by the police. We know twice a week, according to the FBI, an African is killed by a white officer in this country. And this is indicative of what happens to African people everywhere. Even right here in Washington, D.C., we got cases like Trey Joyner, who was shot in the back by Park police. We got cases like Deontay Rollins, a 14-year-old African who was shot in the back by police. Even Clement Swepton, African from Southeast D.C., was shot by the police, and there's no justice for his family. So we got to understand what happened to Mike Brown happened to all Africans, but what is different between what happened in Ferguson and what happens everywhere around is the resistance by African people everywhere. I mean, in Ferguson. So in Ferguson, they didn't, they tried to bring out the military. The people put up a fierce resistance against it. And then they tried to bring in Uncle Tom. So they brought in Al Sharpton. They brought in Jesse Jackson. They brought in even Eric Holder to quell the people, and they just wouldn't stop the resistance. And that's a new era that we're in now. The resistance is everywhere, and we got to be up here. That's why we're here now, to hold up that resistance. So November 1st and 2nd, we're having a march and rally on the White House. The head Negro in charge. It's called Peace Through Revolution. Because we believe, what happened to Mike Brown, like you said, is indicative of what happens to African people everywhere. But that's just one issue. We got, mass incarceration. We got issues with climate change. You have all these issues that people are fighting against. Political prisoners, what's happening to African people in Haiti. But towards what end is all these things happening? So we say peace through revolution, because social justice is going to come from overturning this social system. So we say peace through revolution. So we'll see you November 1st and 2nd.
High streets! Home streets! High streets! Home streets! High streets!
So, what we saying, Black is Back Coalition, November 1st and 2nd, we having a march and rally on the White House. It's called Peace Through Revolution. So we got all these issues. We got mass incarceration. We got police brutality. All these issues. Why are we doing it for? Why are we doing it for? It has to be towards some ends. And to overturn these, we got to have revolution. So we say peace through revolution. So peace through revolution. So November 1st and 2nd, come out. Uhuru.